Hi, I'm René Amesz and I'm gonna make a beat in like 20 minutes and you can watch it on dancefair.tv. Alright, let's start with searching for a good kick. I made a good kick a few weeks ago, which I'm gonna use now. This one, nice and raw. Let's paste it in. And it's a sample, but I wanna cut them loose to one kick, so I can always change the BPM, so I don't have to like stick to the BPM or time stretch or anything. Alright. Open up the mixer. Search for the kick. It's right here. I always try to keep some headroom, you know, keep it till nil. Then I have headroom enough to add other elements like the bassline and the hi-hats, synthesizers and everything. Later on I will master things with these plugins, but they're not switched on yet. So I have the kick. Now let's move to a claps. I always start with a kick and a claps, because that's the most important thing of a groove for me. Again, I'm going to step back to an old project I have. I always use the claps of Dextro. It's really simple. It's just this one. It's really mitty, so it's really sharp for the ear. So I'm gonna remove some mid. Also go to nil dBs, remove something of the 2K. Alright. Here it immediately sounds really quirky, but I miss a little bit of an attack on this kick. You know, it's really MIDI already, but I miss some sharpness on the kick. So what I do here is go to a sample library I have of Neptunes, and they have these let's see where it is here, and then kits. They have these hip-hop samples, you know, hip-hop kicks. They really sound really quirky, you know, really full of cool attack, you know, like a short attack. So let's, like this one, let's use it. Let's give this more attack. I'm doing this with an envelope shaper. Let's see here, envelope shaper. Make it a little shorter with the release. Remove some low frequency here. Let's mix it. I always mix things to like this. I don't hear the kick. Where's the kick? It's off. Alright, let's see. Alright, it's got some nice attack now. So let's move on to some cool bassline stuff. I always use more like stab sounds for creating bass, so I hardly use any software synthesizers to create bass lines. But I have this cool sample pack here, which I often use. It's the Cluster Sound MIM, and I have these drum samples here and impact lows, which I use a lot lately. So. Let's use this one. This is really cool, like the 28. All right, let's put it in notes. I'm just going to put it in randomly. I don't have any idea with it yet, but just to create a nice bass line. Let's see how it sounds. Doing the same, go all the way down. Let's see how it sounds. Sounds really techy already, but it doesn't sound dubby enough, you know. It needs to have less mid and high frequency. So what I always do to get the bass feeling, you know, you need to feel the bass, not hear it, but feel it. So remove everything. So now you can hear it's really like subby. At the same time, when you leave it like this, it's going to like clash with the kick. So I always put a sidechain compressor on it, and down here I have 2 lines of ghost kicks there. They're not buzzed anywhere, they're just silent, but I can like compress or like sidechain on these kicks. So again, go into the mixer, open up a compressor. Right here I have a sidechain button, release to 10, this is cool, threshold to -20, which I can shift most of the times to 15, and then go to the sidechain kick. Alright, and activate the sidechaining on this bass line. Alright. Now you see the compressor I just added, the side chaining. I can add some more. I think this sounds good, like -20. All right. Yeah, it sounds quite good. The kick is a bit lacking of low frequency, so let's compare to the bass. So let's add some more low. Yes, this sounds good. So up next, it's just a simple hi-hat. It's a simple closed hi-hat. Let's see where it is. I have some cool ones in this pack as well. I think it's 5, yes. Sharp and middy. The way I like it. All right. Sounds a little harsh now, so let's do the same. Put it all the way back. Go up until it sounds really nice. And it's also a little sharp in the high end, so I like it a little less to make it more dirty. So now this is like the basic foundation of the beat I always do. And now of course I wanted to let it sound as loud as possible. So then I'm going to the master bus. And I always start with from the UAT, from the Universal Audio card. I use the UAT 1164 SA. And immediately you can hear it gets more power. Turn it up as much that it's just working a little bit, not too much. Turn down the volume a little bit because I'm putting a maximizer on there as well. As you can see, also the maximizer, I want to have it like work just a little, not too much. This is good already. You see, if I pull it up too much, it's going to distort and sound like blurry and shit, but just a little, so it still sounds like quirky and nice. You can hear everything, you know. But the way I'm doing this now is to let it sound as loud as possible, also also, if you look at your wave at the end of the mastering process, if you have done the whole track and you're creating the wave, there's a nice solid wave, you know. So also to get the low end a little bit up, like the 100 Hz frequency a little bit up, is to like create a little bit more there. But it's distorting a little, so let me just pull this one down a little bit. Alright, that's great. Now at the end of the line I also have a UAT Pultec, also from Universal Audio card. And this gives the final bottom end, it's really nice. Yeah, this one. Use the 16 Hz, put it up a little bit. You can hear it, it's getting more and more. I often don't touch the boost or anything because it's doing that from itself already, like the 100 Hz frequency. Let's get this little nice raw edge on the mastering on the track. So while having done this, I can create the rest of the track. So I often leave the hi-hats there, just the one hi-hat, the close hi-hat, and then here the kick and the claps, and then I want to add some percussion things. And I have tons of loops I did myself. I create some loops for the trigger finger, the new trigger finger of M Audio, and this is the map I have for it. Go to the drum loops. I have a lot of nice unused thing. I haven't used these on tracks, but I can use it now. But things like this. Let's search for a nice one. This one's from Dextro. I can use the Dextro one, but I'm not going to do it. This one's cool. Okay, let's try this one. 123 BPM as well, but I'm always going to try to make something different out of it, you know, using shapeshifters and everything. So let's do that again. Because this loop is quite full already. I want to have it sound shorter. Sharper. You can use some more attack. Nice. So this sounds very basic, not really like nice. And the stereo image is really nice. You can see it sounds pretty mono, but what I often do is also use the UAD card and then the CS1 plugin. I also use the default setting without the reverb, but I like the chorus plugin of this one, the chorus. Alright. Now let's put it in the mix. Nice, but now what I hear now is that the bass line, which we created earlier, is a little bit too much. So first of all, I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit. Just a little, it sounds way better now. And I want to have the stabs a little bit shorter. I want to let them sound shorter. They're a little bit too long. Open up the audio editor, fade out a little bit. Nice. So this is a nice basic groove already. Let's add an open hi-hat to it. Alright, note save. Alrighty. I think I have a nice open hat here as well. Let's see where it is. Yes, this number 14 sounds really nice. Let's add it. going too fast. All right. Same way, let's mix it in from bottom. Sounds really nice already, isn't it? I think there's a little bit too much high end on it. Let's remove a little bit. Sounds good and clean now. All right. So for the bass line now, I always use Rob Papen's sub-boom bass actually to create a nice bottom feel to the bass line. Let's see where it is. It's here, sub-boom bass. Create. And I always layer them right on top of the stabs I already created. So I let this go. This one as well. Okay. Let's put this Rob Papen one on mono, because the first preset of the Rob Papen bass synthesizer is always the nicest one for me. So let's try this one. So this is the key basically. Okay. You hear it already. It's really nice and low. Let's put them right on top. Same with this bass line. There's too much attack, too much of a tick. So let's remove all the high end like this. Okay, you can hardly hear the sub-boom bass now, and that's exactly what I want. It just needs to have this low end feel for the clubs, you know. You must not hear it, but feel it. So, oh, another replica. Let's put another compressor on there. Use some side chaining on it. Alright. Sorry if I can. There we go. Here's the side chain kick. Put side chaining on the sub-boom bass. There it goes. Just enough. So to mix this sub-boom bass, I always mute the high end and the percussion, because it's a better way to hear what the bass does. Just distorting a little bit. Sub bass, nice and subtle. Alright. This one. Remove a little bit of the low frequency because it was distorting a little bit, but this sounds really cool already. So this is basically the basic beat of the track. I can easily leave it like this, and later on I'm going to like add some effects to it, like crashes and fade in, like fade sounds and stab sounds, synth sounds and everything. But this is basically how I built the beats, and I can even like add some snare drums on top of the claps. I can show. Let's search for another snare to give it a more like analog feel, more like an acoustic feel to it. And I think I have some nice new samples here of this one. I think it's just the snare. Don't need this one. It's this one. Hear it. It's really a nice acoustic snare. Now, I don't need all the rest of this sample. I just want to have this snare sound. So the good thing about Cubase is that you can open up the audio editor and remove everything you don't need. So let's silence this. Cut it here. All right. Just really simple. Put it on the claps like this. All right. There might be a little bit too much low mid end on there, so let's remove it a little bit. Pull it down just like I did with the other samples. Hear that the beat is getting a more acoustic feel now. But I think the snare has a little bit too much tail on it, so I'm going to shorten it up with another envelope shaper. I also miss a little bit of a nice reverb on the claps, so I think the snare is the perfect sample to put that on. So I always use the UAD reverb to it. Too much now, but showing it up. Basic foundation of my beats. So later on I can add more percussion to it, but I don't think it needs more percussion. So this is basically what I'm going to work with and what I'm going to arrange with, and later on play with some sounds. But you know, it takes like hours to search for the correct sounds, to seek for what suits best on this beat. So yeah, this is basically it.